Welcome to this presentation for Software Engineering 3. We're going to talk about matrix organization, brought to you by James, Leandro, Jerem, Daniel, and Nathan. First of all, what's matrix organization? According to the Guide to the Project Management Body of Knowledge, matrix organization is any organizational structure in which the project manager shares responsibility with the functional managers for assisting priorities and for directing the work of persons assigned to the project. And in explaining the several applications of matrix organization, you have three matrix structures, which is basically in one extreme side, you have functional matrix, where you focus on the functions of the teams that you have in your organization. And then in the opposite side, you have project matrix, where the teams are focused more on the projects that they are working at. And now let's take a look at an example to make this a little bit clearer. Okay, here you have a fictional company. It's a tech company that produces smartphones, laptops, desktops, and then cloud services. And then on top and on the left side, you have, on the left side you have the project teams. So each of those teams will have a manager. You have the smartphone manager, laptop manager, so a manager for each project. And then on top, you have the functional managers. So you have the IT function, you have the finance function, HR, sales, or anything else you need on your company. So each of those projects will have a function represented within them, and these people inside of those teams, they're going to answer to their project manager to the left, and they're going to answer to their functional manager to the top. And then, as I said, with the three possible divisions, some applications may focus more on project, some other applications will focus more on function, and other applications will be in between.
Hello, my name is Daniel Rasmussen, and these are the upsides to the matrix organization method. Lynn Stuckenbrook lists out several advantages in his research paper. First, there is the advantage of better information flow. Because of the matrix design, information can flow vertically to different levels of management, as well as horizontally between different teams. Second, this method of management uses its resources very efficiently. The resource which benefits the most is manpower, due to the fact that personnel can be shared between projects or only used part-time. Third, project objectives are much clearer and have more visibility than other methods offer. Fourthly, the matrix organizational method has the advantage of better team retention. According to Stuckenbrook, when using the matrix, teams are kept together even though projects will come and go. This provides better team cohesion and more efficient use of the technology. The fifth advantage of this method is that it provides boosted team morale by implementing several practices. These practices are feedback through visible achievements in the project, working with fellow specialists, and different options for advancement within the organization. The final advantage is the development of project managers. Due to the fact that the matrix is a multidisciplinary environment, prospective candidates for a project manager are easy to spot and further train in different areas of the organization's functions.
As much as matrix organization can help and solve certain problems, it has problems of its own. These problems can vary in severity depending on the type of matrix, whether it be functional, project, or balanced. Because the differences there are who has more authority, the functional manager or the project manager, or they might even be equals. First problem is power struggles. Because there are two or more people in charge of the same resources and people, there's inevitably tension between the two, even if one might officially have more authority over the other. In the case of a balanced matrix, the functional and project managers are equals, and so that tension and competition for control is at an all-time high. Similarly, there is heightened conflict in matrix organizations due to people and resources being shared across projects. In a functional matrix, however, that conflict can be kept to a minimum because the functional manager has the final say, and the staff can get them to resolve their conflicting demands on their time and skills. Another problem is the reaction time. In a balanced matrix, both of the managers share the decision making, but it of course takes longer to come to a decision. Functional managers have to consider all the projects and functional relationships to make a decision. And project managers have to consider their project only, and that ultimately makes that the fastest decision process. Matrix organizations also have difficulty in monitoring and controlling. This means that because of the shared decision-making and responsibility, it's easy to shrug off responsibility, making it difficult to determine accountability, even more so in a balanced matrix where the managers have equal authority. A matrix also has excessive overhead. The matrix organization adds administrative overhead with the role of the project manager, where there otherwise wouldn't be. And those costs are even higher the more focus and responsibilities the project manager has. Another downside to a matrix organization is the stress. Because the staff have two managers, they have to report to both of them, and the staff have divided commitment across all the projects, and there's lots of conflicts that come with that. And so the stress on the staff is increased, especially in a balanced matrix where the authority of the managers is ambiguous. They have that stress of whose decision making to follow.
Some important ways to make the matrix organization especially effective is, first of all, it should be used with large and complex projects. This is because matrix organization organizes many dozens of developers into many various teams. If a project is too small, it won't be able to have a team large enough for matrix organization to make sense. Second, it's important that the project is multidisciplinary. The matrix organization likes to place developers into teams based off their disciplines as well as what area of the program they're working on. If the project isn't multidisciplinary, then the matrix organization simply won't work well. Lastly, it's also very important that the management of the project is very engaged in making the matrix organization work. It can be a very complex and messy process if it's not being followed correctly, and it can also be very confusing. For the organization to be truly effective, then the management needs to be all in pushing for the matrix organization to succeed.
Review. A matrix organizational structure is a combination of two or more organizational structure types, like a function matrix, balance matrix, and project matrix. Matrix structures work by fostering cross-chain collaboration and shared resources plan across projects. When one company uses matrix structures, we have these benefits. It's helped organizations archive their goals at a faster pace, thanks to the higher use of material and human resources.